Hi, welcome back to CS170. I'm just going to do a quick video to follow up on the examples that we did in JavaScript for the last video. Before I do that, just want to do a quick thing here just to kind of show you. Made some changes. I know some people commented on how some of the, the multitude of options on the left-hand side of Canvas was confusing, as well as just how to access different things. So I did some changes to try to uh, percolate everything that was important up to the top, and also on your landing page or your home page. I made it so that you can do some quick clicks here to get to certain important things, right? So this one is for your announcements. These are for the modules. This was already on here before, but I left it here. This is for the recitations and lectures, the WebEx links there, uh, as well as your office hours links and the course syllabus. I didn't get around to working with the files yet. I'll see if I can get around to sorting that out. But hopefully this is more helpful and you have more of the information like right in front of you in one place when you land. Some of you, I haven't really emphasized using Piazza too much. I noticed some of the other sections have been using Piazza to kind of share questions and try to have people answer them or professors answer them. You could choose to try and use Piazza. I've been trying to push a lot of things out through announcements, obviously, as I see questions from people, as people email me questions. The other thing is here on the media gallery. I think I pointed this out before, but I'll kind of do it again. Um, at the beginning, I know people commented that the media gallery wasn't organized in an easy way to find out what you need. So I kind of changed that around, and whenever this thing will come up. Actually, let me flip this around a little bit. Let me go back to the home page. And let me flip to the student view. That's not what I wanted. Didn't want a new announcement here. Yeah, this thing is probably needs a reboot in a second. Let me see if I can get this through. So student view, and that should show me what you guys are looking at when you come into here. Yeah, so you'll notice that there's less options here, so things are less visible, and the more important stuff is percolated up to the top a little bit. Here on the media gallery, let's see if it comes up now. So I think I mentioned this before, but I have grouped up these playlists for each week, all the way up to the most recent week. So hopefully that organizes things a little bit better and gives you some idea of where to search for things if you're looking for old videos that we've done. Okay, let me get out of here, go back to my original screen, and let's go back to some sample JavaScript. So as I mentioned before, I've already put this out into the files, the allow resources. So if you already looked at it, I mean, they're fairly straightforward examples. So you already looked at it, you've even played around with it. Maybe you turn in some of those code samples to me for extra credit. You probably don't have to pay attention too much to this lecture, but if you want to, you can follow along. So you remember the last lecture, we had the simple example where you didn't do anything. You just called the function, and it didn't do anything, right? It was just a simple thing. Everything was hard-coded and cranked out an answer. Here, we just build on that and make it so you can pass a parameter, okay? Let me close this guy before it gets all bent out of shape here. Okay, so we changed the simple to take in, well, we define a parameter and it's going to take in an argument, okay? So pass data, 1 plus pass data gives you the answer, and you're going to do an alert here. Here's the button. Now I hard-coded this to be 5, and then it says 6 here, right? Because I did the alert, and that became 6. So fairly straightforward. Let me change this just so you see that it does do something. Let me change it to 7. I'll run it, and you can see it's 8 now, right? So 7 plus 1 is 8. Okay, so this is an example of us passing a parameter through this function, simple, 7, and then the parameter here taken in, processed, and do an alert box from here. Okay, so that's that. So let's see what the next one is. All right, so the next one is the next step up where I can pass in something. This is pass data, and I can return an answer. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to return this. Just like so. Okay, and oops. So now it's going to do a return. Now it says we have the variable answer. So I declared the variable, and I'm going to initialize it based on calling this function, right? So simple and num. Okay, so I'm here. Let me do this. I'm gonna do the alert from here actually. Okay, so just to talk through what I just did here, instead of putting the alert box here, I did a return here. When you call this simple function, let me change it to 8, let's say, it's going to come back here, and then this is where it's going to do the alert. So let me run it, and there we go, it's 9. Okay, so you see what we did there. So instead of doing the print or the alert from here, we did the return back to the calling, and just did an alert there, so it became 9. Okay, so hopefully that's pretty clear. So this is an example of doing a pass and return to the function. Okay, so let's see what's this one doing. So you'll modify this pay 3 using a function and event-driven programming. Okay. Okay, so here we are. So before you had these variables all put in here. So you had a prompt and you put in through here, and you're gonna take this and calculate it out. So this is just defining this to be gray. Don't think I need to mess around with that, so I'm going to leave that to be the same. All right, so why don't we do this? I'm going to go ahead and define these text boxes here. Oops, where did my PowerPoint go here? Okay, so I'm going to just take another one here. So I'm just going to copy this input here. And let's see, the first one is hours worked. So let's put hours worked. I guess I might as well just leave this check in here. So let me just rename this box hours. Okay, so if I run it, okay, so I didn't really change anything on the calc. It's still doing that old calc, so that's fine. I'll fix that a little bit later. So I'm gonna take this out. I'm just gonna copy and paste this guy, because the next one we're gonna capture the rate per hour. So oops, where did I go here? Rate per hour, and rate does that. All right, better. All right, and your total pay is, all right, let me just copy that. So box total. So all right, let's see what that looks like now. All right, so that's fine. So we got these two as the input, and we've got the total pay output here, and then we'll have a calculate. So what do we need to do for this calculate? So we're going to take basically two numbers, your hours and your rate per hour, into here, into your simple. So we're going to say hours and rate. And the answer is hours times rate. And then you're going to return the answer. So just to test this out, I'm going to do simple and box hours. hours worked dot value, comma, did I put the rate first? I think I put the rate first, right? No, the hours. All right, hours times rate. So the rate is box rate dot value. All right, let's see what happens when I do that. Well, of course it's 0 because I didn't put anything in. So let's put in 10 hours worked at $10 an hour. It's 100. Okay. Box hour worked is not defined. Box hour worked. Oops, I put in an S here. All right, let's run it. And 10. Why is there a box hour work not? Ah, man. All right, box hours worked. I don't know what box rate, box hours. All right, gotta remember the name of my variables and keep them consistent here. All right, that looks like it's good now. So it's 10 times 10. I got 100, so that looks right. Let me try 15. All right, 150, so that looks good. All right, so now the last thing I need to do is set this. So I'm going to do box total dot value equals to that. And let me do this again. And there you go, 150. All right. So I think that's pretty straightforward there. Let's see here. What's the next ones here? All right, so it's just the calc button to click it out. All right, so this one is just doing a demonstration of a coin toss. So flip equals math times random. And then you can do a math round on the flip. Let me see if I can combine this with some code that I already have existing. So kind of already showed this here with this math.random. Yeah, what the heck? Why don't I just reuse this thing that's existing? So this came with the js.io. So it's the show random number, and it's just calling the math.random. And here. So it means all I need to do is just call this guy. So I'm gonna stick this, tag this onto the end of this guy here. Okay, so this code is still just what I had from before, so that should populate this, but then I tagged on this show random number. Right, so there's your random number there. Okay. They also did a math round here, so let's do the math round. See what happens when I do that. It's 100. Let me double check what round I need to do. Probably I have to do something to tell it how many decimal places to round it to. So it's interesting. So if I do the math.round, I should round it off to a whole number here. So I'm not sure why it didn't round it off to the whole number like I would expect. I'm going to have to double check that and come back if there's any resolution to what I messed up on that one. But I think still using this here. That's why. I should be doing the math.round here. So, and let's say 10, oops, 10, there we go. All right, so it rounds it to a whole number. Do it again. Okay, so if there's any questions on this, just give me a shout. Otherwise, have a good night.